I believe. And I am from Calgary. We've been running this young adult movement for almost a year now. We first initiated it here in Toronto. Then we went to Edmonton, Saskatoon, Toronto, Edmonton, and now in Toronto back. And the plan is to go national, which is North America. And the main thing is, as young people, especially those who finished high school, and if you're a newcomer, you don't know where to go, right? You don't know who to ask, right? Someone should guide you to the path that you want. That's why we started this. We saw that problem. Okay, let's fix it. What should we do? Let's network. It's not that we don't have professionals like those people, but it's just we don't know where to find them. If you go to church, maybe we're shy, right? Especially as a community, we're so shy. We don't even talk, we don't even connect, network. But if we create this kind of community, that's gonna be so helpful. Talking, connecting, asking questions. And there are a lot of people that are willing to mentor us and guide us to the next level. So this is us, and our name is gonna be, I'm gonna just put it down there. It's ENNY. Excellence New Generation Network, Youth and Young Adults, okay? So I'm just gonna give him back, and I'm just gonna give you.
You don't have a question? All right, go ahead. So it's okay if you want to talk in Tigrinya, go ahead. Then we can tell them.
ሕብረተሰብ ኣሎ እዚ ኣብ ርእሲ ዘዕበዮም ወላዲ ሓበሻ እዩ ሶ እቲ ዘለዎ ባህልታትን ክብርታትን እዞም ሰባት እዚኦም ከውርስ ስትራግል ገይሩ እዩ እቲ ዘዕበዮም ሰብ ማለት እዩ ኣብ መወዳእቱ ግን እዞም ሰባት እዚኦም ከምዚ ኮይኖም ንኽወፁ ወይ ከምዚ ዓይነት በቕዓት ሃልይዎም ኣብ መወዳእቱ ንፉዓት ሰባት ንኾኑ ዘኽኣሎም ዝተጋደልዎ ገድስ እንታይ ይመስል እቲ ባህልን ክብርታትን ከመይ ሒዞም ኣለዉ ድዮም ወላስ እቲ ኣብዛ ዓዲ ዘሎ ካይዳ ወሲዶም እዮም ከይዶም እዮም ዘለዉ ነሳ ጀነራላይዝ ገይሮም ቆረብ ንእሽተይ ክሳተ ገይሮም ናስን ዝያዳ ደስ በልን ምክንያቱ ከም ሕብረተሰብ የጎርስና ስለዝኾነ ክጠፉና እውን ኣይደሊና ማለት እዩ ጎን ጎን ትምህርቶም ኣብ ጎንና ኮይኖም ምድጋፎም ዘይተርፍ ብመልክዕ ከዓኒ ቆረብ ክሕጉዝና ደስ ብለና ምክንያቱ ክልተ ዓይነት ሰባት ዳኾንና ሰልመፅ ዘለና ማለት እዩ በትንበፅን ሰልመፅ ማለት እዩ
Support the black community to how we can go forward. That's what it is, General as Africa. So he was asking, we're proud of you. And what was your struggles to be in here in this kind of profession, even living community? What was your struggles and how could you be on this level? So what do you advise? On top of that, are you completely shifted from whatever background you came in, your culture, your background, for your family's value, completely shifted, or are you valuing that, are you taking it, or are we separated completely? How are you? So, if you can give us general idea, anybody of you guys, you can give us two people.
That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question. I would like to appreciate you for asking that and being the first person to have that confidence. Thank you so much for the pride you have in each and every one of us. We're no different from you. Everyone has the potential to be up here. Everyone has the potential to give back, as long as you believe in yourself. I think one challenge I had within my family, Delina kind of spoke to this in her presentation, is we're often put into certain lanes that our parent and our culture expect us to follow. They want us to be in the medical field. They want us to go to law school and of this such, right? So originally, growing up, I wanted to be a veterinarian, right? And when I told my family, they said, why would you be an animal doctor? Why don't you be a doctor to real people? So they crushed my dreams from the very beginning. So I had to make a shift. When you're young, you're trying to make your parents happy. That's what we all want to do. But when you get to a certain age, you understand that it's not only about making your parents happy and proud, it's about doing something in your life that you're proud of and something that inspires you to get up in each and every day, right? So I went down the medical route. I ended up finishing in kinesiology, getting my honors bachelor's in that. I was going to go down the rehab science path, right? But when I took a look at the market and I took a look at what my family needed and what my future needed, I realized that it would take me a lot longer going in that traditional path than it would if I had the confidence to step out of that. So I decided to go into business and sales. And for a lot of us, not only in the Habesha community, we have a very bad rep for salespeople. Well, a lot of times we look at them as if they're trying to cheat us with something, trying to give us something that we don't really need, right? But when I started to, explain to my mom that, someone like any of these intelligent people here can create an amazing product. But if that product sits in the basement, if no one knows about that product, if no one knows about that service, it's useless. So sales and marketing is what connects the brilliant inventions people make to the consumers and the people who are going to benefit from that product. So when I explained that to my mom and my family and started to, obviously show them that I was serious with this, backed it up with achievements at work, backed it up with the work ethic. They saw that, I used to stay home all the time. Now I'm not coming home after I'm out for the whole day, 12 hours, 14 hours, right? They saw that something was different, right? So a lot of times in our community, I encourage people that if you're taking an alternate path, don't expect the people that you expected to support you. A lot of times the support comes from outside before it comes from within your own household, right? So if you have a dream, if you have something that is outside of the ordinary path, follow that. Have that confidence to chase after that. When you're successful, everyone's gonna appreciate you. So just understand that the appreciation is not never gonna come, it's only been delayed. So if you have that mentality and you understand that if I'm successful in this, I'm a trailblazer, I'm gonna change something different in the way my family thinks. I'm gonna support the world in a different way that was originally set out for me. If you have that self-confidence and you understand that appreciation will come later, you'll make a change and you'll chase after that. So if you have an alternate path, don't worry. The appreciation is coming. It's only gonna come at the end of the hard work and after the achievement. But there's gonna be a couple people who believe in you. Give back to those people and also believe in yourself. So that's what I would say. Don't be downcast or discouraged by family expectations sometimes. Thank you very much. Does anyone else want to share?
So adding on to Nathaniel's points about stepping out of your comfort zone a lot of times, one thing I was saying earlier to Kisana is one thing I was saying to Kisana earlier when we were meeting and introducing ourselves to each other is as African people, we tend to be very closed-minded. We tend to stick to a lot of traditional routes. I think it's really important to take advantage of the fact that we don't like to ask, Other communities, especially when you come to Canada where it's a land of opportunities, they put themselves out there. They're very proactive in what they want, even if it's not going through the same traditional routes or exploring something that isn't a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. All it takes is one person, all it takes is one door. Sure, you're gonna go through a lot of rejection. Sure, you're gonna be switching your mind about what you wanna do. But the most important thing is that you put yourself out there. I feel like a lot of times we don't see the opportunities because we just don't think to ask. We don't think to go to find people and, say, this is what I'm interested in. This is what I want to, I want to encourage us. If we want to build towards something or if you want to be that one, generational change in your family, ask. Put yourself out there because you'd be surprised at how many people are willing to give you a chance or willing to, sit down and have that opportunity to be that one door that you need. So if anything out of today, like Delina was saying a lot, make connections today, ask people, introduce yourself, be friendly, don't be a stranger to somebody. I know a lot of us here are shy. With me, I have to pretend and really put myself out there to really, even public speak in front of everyone, but ask, put yourself out there. All it takes is one yes, and then you'll be working towards something that could be your dreams. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Hey, my daughter, you gotta be a pharmacist. I was saying that. I know she's a smart girl and she like it, but majority of the family we do that. Or we want you to be engineer, you want to be a doctor. So from experience to answer him and to answer all other families, maybe you can post it even. So what do you say, guys, to the parents?
So I think it comes with great intentions, and retrospectively, I think I would do the same thing to my kids, to be honest, because it's once you enter the job market, you realize, okay, sometimes you're delusionally, or you just expect success from yourself. You say, I'm a hard worker, I'm expecting to make this much money in my future, and that's kind of the delusion you just let yourself live in. You need to actually put yourself out there and create these opportunities for yourself. And what, like the parents are saying, the doctor, lawyer, or what have you, these are very direct ways to kind of get that salary or get that success. And on top of that, it's also a bit of, it allows, we understand that there's public perception. We are all POCs, we're all people of color, and having I think another thing from a parent's perspective is that there's already that first layer of judgment. So coming in and saying, I'm doctor, what have you, or I'm an engineer, it already kind of diminishes that to some extent. And that is, unfortunately, in this day and age, pretty valuable. So I understand, of course, where parents come from. And it's not something to dismiss too quickly. And if you have another path, you better just work hard at it. Like, let's say you really want to do psychology, or you really want to do something that the parents hate to hear, like the arts or what have you. It doesn't mean, all right, I just got to stop doing this. You just have to really put 110% into that. Convince your parents you will be successful doing this. Convince yourself you'll be successful doing this. Do not do anything passively. Put 110% and put yourself out there if that's the case.
Sure. You want to give him the
Honestly, you guys stated perfectly. For me, fortunately, my mom didn't, push me. Oh, do this, do that. She even told me, she's like, you could pursue anything you want as long as you put your heart to it, and you just follow your heart and put your 100% to what your passions and everything. And that's what I did. I think her encouragement like that allowed me to also review, put myself in check. And in the first part, I wanted to be a pilot, but then during COVID, things were getting a little challenging, and I was like, is this ever going to change? And for a lot of people, I know you guys also thought the same thing. You thought, oh my goodness, it's so challenging. And you think, is this going to be the new normal? And to me, I was like, what should I do? And that's where I actually started talking to a lot of people. I started talking with my mom's friend, actually, her father. I was talking to him, and he was like, oh, you know what? You just look into it, and you just explore a little bit more on the business side. And I was like, okay. And I came across a program in Waterloo University, Global Business, and it's fairly new. It was established 2012. And to me, when I found out, I was not even open immediately. I was like, but everything that we learned there, we learned how to, finance, economics, and a little bit of coding as well, marketing. And it allowed me to also diversify my skills. And during that time, they also taught us how to also network. So I advise you guys too, connect with people, because I trust me, even the job that I have now, because I'm fairly new to the job force, the workforce, and to me, the first thing I'll tell you is, just network, and because you do not know what you're going to learn from someone and their experience. And I learned so much from so many people, and I've talked to CEOs over the years. We're like friends now, and I've talked to even simple social workers, and they tell you their perspective on how to also succeed in certain ways and in certain fields, and it's really good to take their insights, regardless of what field they're taking. You learn a lot from a lot of people, and to me, I think that's what helped me also secure the job. I actually networked with a guy. It was an event that my school hosted, and it was a lot of people there were like marketing, professionals, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's the right guy. Talk to him." And I was pretty nervous. I know everyone gets nervous too. I was pretty nervous, shy. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I don't want to talk." And I approached him. I talked to him. We hit it off. He gave me his email. I reached out to him, and like a month later, he reached out to me, and he's like, "Yeah, I will just let the HR know to kind of check your resume and everything." And I got the job. So it works. And so you guys just network and connect with people, talk. Even now with the people around you in your seats right beside you, just talk to them and connect, and trust me.
Job market. What was your challenge? What do you advise people, especially the young? How can you put it? What's your one?
Okay, well, I'll start off by talking about my transition from high school to university. So my first year of university was in 2020 at the very beginning of COVID. And so my first year of university was just completely online. It was very lonely, I would say. Like there was nobody to talk to, and you're just on Zoom classes all day and whatnot. And I felt like I really needed that interpersonal connection with people. And so the first thing I struggled with was really putting myself out there and getting to know people when university first returned back in person in 2022. And one of the things I really struggled with that I really regret not doing is going to events like this, like networking events, talking to people. I really only started doing this in like last year, maybe 2 years ago. But I can't stress this enough, how important talking to people and putting yourself out there is. As somebody who's in engineering, I've seen 90% of the demographic, people don't like to talk to each other. Everyone's just like on their computer, just like doing their engineering, whatnot. And 99% of the opportunities I've received are through people I know, through the connections I've made. And so that's not even just with respect to like getting opportunities, just having that connection with people is an important thing in and of itself. There's the experience you'll get is really not that satisfying if all you're doing is just going to school, going to classes, and doing your job and then leaving. So now with respect to going into the workforce, like I said to some of you before, I just graduated from the University of Toronto and I just started working 3 weeks ago. And so the transition is quite hectic, I would say. There's a lot of things to learn. I have had internships during my school term, so I kind of know what it's like to be in the workforce, to work with teams and whatnot, and to ramp up on projects and context. But there will always be people to support you. And the biggest thing you can do is just be a sponge. Ask questions to the mentors who are around you. People don't expect much from you when you're just starting to work, when you're just entering the workforce. They know that you don't know much context about the business. They know that, they expect you to ask questions. And if you're actually not, then they'll think something's wrong with you. They think like maybe you're trying to like ego them or something, or, you're just trying to think like trying to show that you know everything. And so my advice is just be humble, go into it being like a sponge and learning as much as you can and talking to as much people as you can. Because at the end of the day, that will be way more important to you in your future and now, rather than just the technical aspects that you know.
The funny thing is, I don't know, 19 something or 2000 something, I was in Carlton Youth. All the Habesha Society people, we were like engineering, all of us. Seriously, because we didn't have the mentors. What do we have to do? Which way do we have to go? You guys are lucky. They tell you what to do. Oh, you got to take off. You have to do this and this. For us, the That's what I want from back home. I want to be in engineering. So that's what I did. And all of us are engineering. So for parents like me, it's not only doctors, it's not only engineers. Some of them, even we never heard that. So could be politicians, could be this and this. So we have to be variety. As Delina said, you gotta fight and work hard on it to convince our parents, show them what it is. Any question for these guys? Anybody has one? Almost everything answered. Young guys, high schoolers, got any question for this? You good? Or younger, you are in new profession, what do you want? You want to use that mic? If you want to start with that, 2 minutes I say.
Okay, I'll start.
Then you can pass that microphone and that thing together.
Gotcha, yeah. I think I've received a lot of, say, like terrible advice when I was in high school, going to university. The biggest thing I would say, especially in regards to like the kind of parents that really push you into like engineering or doctors and whatnot, is it's really important that you understand you can glorify God in whatever vocation or career can actually make you some money and sustain you. However, the most important thing you have to consider is, are you willing to do that well enough? And can I glorify God in doing this? And I think if you combine that sort of mindset, also with understanding, being diligent in how to sustain yourself, your parents will definitely come around. Like they'll understand. Like if you can show them you're willing to be independent in this industry, they'll come around. So it's really important not to be afraid, not to feel like you have to go into a certain profession or a certain industry to appease your parents, because at the end of the day, you're not going to enjoy what you're doing. And in turn, you're not going to glorify God in what you're doing because you're not going to care about what you're doing. And all in all, it's just not a winning strategy. So, yeah, glorify God.
Honestly, he said it like really good, and yeah, glorify God, and also, yeah, just talk to people. I mean, as high schoolers, I know we're new to even this, like when it comes to the social aspect, we could, you know, for me personally, I was a little bit more shy. I didn't like to talk to anybody, and honestly, trust me, just put yourself out there, and just like you guys were saying, you know, fake it till you make it, because it, you know, once you do that, you kind of just, you adapt to it. And for me personally, I was so horrible at the, the public speaking or talking to people and making friends. But then, you know, when you fake it, at one point, you kind of adapt through it. And yeah, so that, and yeah, just, yeah, and your parents will come around, you know, if they're also pushing you to pursue something. It comes out of like good intentions, and yeah, I mean, everyone said it amazingly, so that's how I'm just gonna round it off here.
I think my advice would be, I feel like I mostly said what I wanted to advise you guys on, but I think if I had to put myself back into like where I was when I was a high schooler, some advice that I would really appreciate is more in regards to like time and resources. I know a lot of us here, sometimes we're not exactly sure what we want to commit our lives to. I think like when you're young, asking someone, what do you want to do for the rest of your life is a really big commitment. And a lot of times you might be halfway through going through a degree or a career, and then you realize that you hate it. And that's one of the worst feelings ever. I think I cannot like stress this enough. Put yourself out there, talk to people, talk to your professors, especially for those of you that are going to university or you might be in your first year. A lot of times the classes that we're in, they're much larger than high school classes. A lot of the students are just numbers to a lot of the professors. But you want to be that one person that stands out, the one person that greeted them in the morning, the one person that came to office hours to ask them, what do you do in this profession? Like, what are opportunities? Another thing too is before you make that big commitment in terms of what you want to do for school or even career-wise, volunteer. I know like for a lot of us, we're looking for work, you know, we want to get paid for the time that we're putting in, but one of the best ways to see if this is something that you want to do is making that small short-term commitment. My mind, I say like it's better to invest a small amount of time and realize that you hated something and you don't want to take this career path than to make that huge investment and then later on realize this is not something I want to do. There is nothing worse than feeling like you wasted a lot of time and you wasted a lot of money. So while you're going through high school, if you have co-op opportunities or even if you're seeing volunteering postings, put yourself out there. Ask for opportunities. Even if there's nothing that you see, it doesn't hurt to send a cold message. It doesn't hurt to send an email. Volunteer. See if there's opportunities to do some short-term things. That's part of the research in terms of finding career opportunities, in terms of finding what other industries are there. I know for like our parents, that's one of the biggest worries here. For my parents, traditional Africans, they don't get more stricter than that. It's either you be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, and I'm in clinical research. They don't even know that. For a lot of our parents, they didn't go to university, and university is the opportunity where you learn there's more than being just a doctor. You know, there's like so many other industries you can go into, and by making those connections, by going and shadowing people, by volunteering, you find out what these other things are, so you don't have to just stick yourself into one career lane. So I really encourage you guys, walk away from this thinking, I'm gonna look into volunteering opportunities for something I'm interested in. And that way, you kind of have a better idea of what you want to do.
Very well said. I think if I had 2 minutes to tell you guys anything, it would, hate to sound like a broken record, but if you leave here with anything, it's to network, it's to get out there, it's to make a LinkedIn. Make a LinkedIn, connect with people. I made some connections today. That was great. It can really lead to something that you wouldn't have expected. Again, like I mentioned before, practice practicality. So be very honest with yourself in the profession you're in or you're choosing. Is this something I really like? Is this gonna give me a future that I'm gonna be happy with to some extent? And if not, then you need to ask more questions and you need to talk to more people and get a better understanding of what your future may look like. Be kind to yourself because you don't need to know the answers all at once. I know we're kind of asking that of you, but it's ambiguous. Like jobs you didn't know about may be perfect for you. And that's why, again, talking to people and understanding your surroundings, your sector better really does help. So that's my advice to you guys. And this may be not what everyone thinks, but you can use ChatGPT to help kind of bounce ideas off of. I think if I was in high school right now and I didn't know what degree I wanted, I would be using ChatGPT to say, okay, these are my interests, what are some degrees? And then you can go down a rabbit hole if you're really stuck. So use this AI to your disposal, use it to help further yourself. People are doing it, so just get above the curve and just use this to try to maximize your efficiency to some capacity. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes, they all made some excellent points. It's hard being last, but if I had to add to all of what they were saying, there's this concept called Imago Dei. In Amharic, I think it would be Beg Zaber Melk, and in English that stands for in the image of God. So what that means is each and every person is already special, is already loved, is already unique. No two people have the same fingerprint. No two people have the same hair pattern. All of us are completely unique and special in the eyes of God. Another thing I would add on to that is that you are also beloved by your family, right? Your family loves you. And the reason we're here as mentors, like Mahari shared, we didn't get paid to be here, but it's because we care about our community that we're here, right? So from this understanding that you are special, and that you are loved, it's not trying to be special, it's not trying to be unique. You already start off with that. You're just trying to show the world how special you are. So when you have that internal confidence, it makes things a lot easier. Secondly, as all of them were, sharing, taking action is the most important thing. We can talk about it so many times. We can stress the practicality of making a LinkedIn. But if you don't take an action, you yourselves coming here today is an action in itself. If you make those small decisions each and every day, they compound and they will build something amazing. So they already said something, everyone added that's something that's special, not to be constrained in the popular career paths that our parents and community put for us. But you are already special. It's all about showing the world just how special you are. So with that comes a lot of things. The main thing is communication, right? And like Delina was saying, networking. Networking is about communication. All of us, when we started off, we were all babies. None of us knew everything from the beginning. None of us were more talented than the rest. It's all because each and every one of us, the talents we have, it's because we applied ourselves in that. So you can become an excellent communicator. One day, I know I'm going to see you guys speaking here, and I'm going to be listening and learning from you. So the understanding that you are already special and that it's all about showing your specialness to the world through your actions. Don't think about it. Don't always plan about it. Take an action. That's what I would like to share.
Aren't you proud of these brothers and sisters to have them? Can I hear more applause? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. I'm very, very proud of you. It's great to see you. We're looking ahead more and more. One last question this guy he has. Go ahead.
So I'd like to ask, I feel like one of the main things that our generation or our young adults nowadays are understood is that being too cautious is not being able to make mistakes. So not being able to make mistakes and fall and get up and learn from all mistakes. What's your take on it when it comes to learning from all mistakes? Because I feel like nowadays it's very challenging for that, just the average young adult to make a mistake. It comes with a lot of responsibility, and it comes with a lot of like a lot of things behind just making a small mistake. What's your take on it?
Your mistake, you should be fine. I guess it specifically kind of depends on what kind of mistake. When you're doing work, like you mentioned, you just started your first job, no one really is going to expect you to know everything. You might have kind of perfectionism as a mindset. I know I definitely did when I first started my first career, and I was really scared of making mistakes, and that kind of led me to not ask too many questions, which is not the answer. You should be asking more questions when you're unsure. But making mistakes is the best way to learn, and you just have to be kind to yourself when that happens, because everyone makes mistakes, honestly. That's how you grow as a person, and being able to actually grow from your mistakes is how you become a better person. So you should not shy from making mistakes. The more you make, the more you know in the future. So just be kind to yourself when that happens, and hopefully the people around you are there to help you, because you have at least this community. So if you make mistakes, we will be kind to you.
Thank you guys, appreciate that. Go ahead. So they said wonderful things. If I'm gonna repeat one thing, anybody special here? Can I see anybody is special who believes they are special? Anybody? Anybody? Are you special? Are you unique? He said you're unique. God created you unique, he said, this brother. I like it. I'm unique. We're called to be special as, right? We don't want to be photocopy. I don't want to be like him because I have my specialty. I got to believe on me. So build your future, our title today. That's what you need to build. What is my potential? What do I am called to be in this world? What I have to make a difference? That's what you got to work on your future, on your life, in your career. And once you becoming what you want, then you will be better. Because I remember that his parents, they told him, do this, you got to study this. Then he graduated, here you go, Daddy, this is for you. Because it was not his intention, that's not what he wanted. So work on it, she said, work on it, 110%. What do you want to be? And convince your parents, convince your neighborhood, because you want to be making impact on your life and your communities too. So let's keep building our future. Let's say thank you for this, guys, and we're gonna go back again. All right, thank you. All right, so we are heading in for the last part.